Hi guys, welcome back to the basis of the Kids Coding Bootcamp. All right, so today we are going to be talking about branding basics. In our last class, we did logo. All right, so in this class, we're going to be talking about branding. All right, so branding is like a company's face and personality. It is how they look, sound, and feel whenever people see them. All right, without branding, business will just blend in and no one would remember them. So you see, it's like a little bit similar to logo, but then no, it's not only that. All right. So what is branding? So branding is identity of a business. So just like people have names, personalities, and styles, all right, businesses also create their own look and feel so that people can recognize them. Okay, so branding is how a company shows the world who they are, all right, through colors, fonts, logos, and design. So now in this case, it's not only about logos. In this case, logos is included. Then we have colors, we have fonts, and then yeah, design. Example, when you see MTN yellow, all right, you see it in MTN before you even read the name. If you have seen like MTN design before, all right, you will see that most of the MTN design always have the yellow colors in them, all right, then with their logo. Okay, that yellow color is like their brand color, all right. Or when you see the Coca-Cola red and coffee writing, you know it is Coke. Okay, so now let's look at these two flyers right here. All right, this is a flyer design for MTN. All right, if you look at this in this flyer design, okay, is made with yellow color, all right, and that yellow color is the color, the brand color for MTN, all right, yellow. Then for Coca-Cola, all right, this is a flyer for them, flyer design for them, and if you look at those design, you will see red color in it, all right. The brand color for Coca-Cola, sorry, is usually red, white, and black, and most of the times you must see these colors in, sorry, and most of the times you must see these colors, all right, in their designs, including their logo and the type of font that they use. Okay, so now that we know what branding means, all right, let's look at why it is important. So why branding is important? The first one is recognition, all right. Customers remembers a business easily. Example, you don't confuse Pepsi logo with Ludo. All right, that is what branding does. Okay, like if you see this, all right, you cannot, there's no way you can confuse this Pepsi logo right here with this. All right, so that is like one of the things that branding does. It helps customer, all right, to recognize the business much more easily, all right, with the color, the logo, the font, and everything. It is easily recognized. Okay, next one is trust. So a strong brand makes people feel the business is reliable. Example, the Nike's logo makes athletes feel confident, and most of the times the Nike's logo, all right, you always see like athletes, all right, that is marketing their product, you always see them looking confident. Example, like we have right here, okay, those athletes here, all right, looks very confident, all right, so it makes you feel like, oh, you could win if you actually buy this shoe. Okay, so trust, they use branding to create trust. All right, the next one is consistency. So everything looks the same across posters, websites, and ads. Okay, example, KFC always is red and white, all right, with colon sandals. So look, all right, these two flyers now, there's something that they have in common, and that thing that they have in common is the brand color. Okay, the brand color red, all right, and then the type of chicken that is here, like that's the picture. Okay, the picture, all right. So this red here, all right, is their brand color, something white, all right. You can see red and white in this design the same thing with this particular one. So branding helps to, create consistency. Then the next one is emotions. All right, branding can make people feel something. Example, Disney branding feels magical and fun. Me personally, I like watching Disney movies, right? Because most of the Disney movies are always, magical type of movie and they are fun. Example that we have here now, we have the Frozen flyer right here, and we have the Moana flyer right here. Okay, so with this, it makes you, that's the their branding style, all right? That's the emotion that they like to invoke in people. Okay, so if branding is so important, what makes up a brand? All right, let's break it down. So let's look at the elements of branding. All right, the main things that make up a brand are: one, logo. All right, the symbol or design, like the one we created in our last class. Then the second one here, we have color, which is the shade that represents the brand. Like now for MTN, you say is yellow. For Coca-Cola, you could say is red. KFC too is red. For Digital Dreams, you could say is yellow, right? So font, the style of text, that you use, all right, for your uh, design, all right, also matters, all right, to tell us if it is like a serious type of thing or if it is fun or playful. The font you use matters. And then the style, the mood or personality the brand gives off. Okay, so these are the elements that makes up branding. All right, so now that we understand what branding is and why it is important, it is time to bring those ideas to life. One of the simplest but most powerful tool a brand could use is an identity card. Okay, so we are going to make this identity card, and in this identity card, at least you could find this is a Digital Dreams identity card, right? That we're going to make, and we know that their brand color is yellow, so we are going to use yellow color for a read, all right? And then since it's like a tech brand, a tech brand, we're going to use like a serious kind of, we're going to use sans serif font, all right, a modern font for it. Then yeah, we're going to add logo. So I'm just like listing the elements, all right, that we see in branding. So let's head into Photoshop and then start making our identity card. So right now we are in Photoshop, all right, and the document size which we are going to use for this is going to be A4, all right. I'm going to use A4 to create this. So for A4, if yours is not in recent, you could just go to print, all right. If you go to print, you're going to see A4 right here. So you just click on it, all right, and then create. Okay, so this is our A4 paper, all right. This is what we're going to use to create our design. Okay, so first thing, I'm going to duplicate this, okay, into two. All right, so I'm just going to come here and then change to artboard 2, and I will do this. So I'll just click on add here, and then I'll drop this. Okay, so I think the first thing now that I'm going to do after doing this now is for me to add our logo. Okay, so I'll go to file so that I can get the brand color from there. So I'll get to file, all right, place embedded, and then I'm going to import it, but I need to get it where it is. Okay, so So this is it, all right? Okay, so I'm trying to remove the background color that came with it. Okay, which I think I have done. All right, so now we are first of all going to make the front part, then later we'll now make the back wall. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is to firstly draw a rectangle that is going to serve as a header. So get my rectangle tool, and then I think from here I'll just draw a rectangle like this. Yeah, this is okay. So I'll change the color, and to do that I'll just click this open. This is why I imported it first. All right, so I'm going to use this. I'm just going to pick the color, but then I need a darker shade, all right, of this particular color, like a darker shade of it. So we're just going to like bring this down a little somewhere here. Yeah, so I'll just use this color. Okay, so remove the stroke line. If yours has stroke, remove the stroke line. So once I'm done with this, I'm now going to draw another one. Okay, I'm going to draw another rectangle shape. But this time around, this one will just start like somewhere here, then to here. Yeah, so this time around is not going, this one is not going to take this digital dreams color. Okay, so you see it's a little bit lighter. All right, remove the show color. So I want to like corner this part and then this part. So I'll just scroll down here. First of all, I'll make this to all be in 0. Okay, so I'll off this. All right, then so I just want to make this part and this part. All right, so I will start increasing them. Let me just do like 600. Let me do 603 or 4. 604. All right, so this is okay. I'll drop my 2. Okay, so this is what we have here for now. So the next thing that I'm going to do, I want to add like a shadow to this. Okay, I want to add a shadow to this. So I'll click on it. All right, then click on drop shadow in blending options. So I'll just like leave the setting to this. Click OK. If you look at like there's a shadow added to this now. it now has shadow. Okay, so now the next thing that we're going to do again is for me to draw another rectangle somewhere here. All right, so get my rectangle shape. Firstly, I will draw a rectangle like this to this point. Okay, then I'm going to make the color to be the same color with this, the first footer that we added, or header that we added, so which is this color. All right, so now this is what I have. But then I think I'm going to like increase this a bit. Yeah, this is okay. So I'm also going to add a rounding corner for this. Okay, well, I just want to corner this, only this part. So I'll bring it down here, then come to this part. First of all, link it, and then I'll just put all of them in 0. Then I'll unlink. I just want to do only this part. So this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to draw another rectangle from here to here. This time around, it's going to have the same color with this particular one here. So the color should be the lighter color. All right. So I'm also going to round this. But this time around, we're only going to round this side and this side. So link this, put this in 0, unlink. So I'll first of all corner this side, then I'll come here, I'll corner this. Okay, I'll drop my tool. Okay, and then I'm going to add shadow. This I'm going to add shadow. All right, so click on this, and then let's go to blending option, drop shadow, and then we'll drop the shadow. Okay, so this is what we have right now. All right, so the next thing we're going to do now is to add like the text. All right, so you're going to add a text here, and also going to add a picture here. But now let's add the text first, then before the pictures. All right, so we'll click on the text tool here, and then we type the name first. You can hardly see what I'm typing. Well, let's change the font. What I want us to use is Poppins. It's a modern font, so we just use Poppins. We use Poppins Bold. Okay, Bold. All right, then we'll change the color to black. Okay, and then we increase the font size. Let's do 24 and see. It's too small. is too big. Okay. uh I want to make all this capital letter. I'll just click here, your character, then you click on the double T. So yeah, I want to make sure this is in the middle. All right. So the next thing, I'll duplicate this text. Okay. Control J to duplicate, and then you bring it down a little bit. Double click to start editing, to enter editing mode. So I'll type my role now. So graphics. Right. So accept this. This time around, we're going to change the poppings from bold to regular. All right. So it's going to be in regular. And then we're going to reduce the font a bit. So I'll place it here. I want it to start on the same line, so I'm going to zoom in. So I'll go and get line 2. All right. And then I'll just like draw a line. So we drew another line. All right. Let's change the fig color to black. Okay. And then I'll drop our 2. And we take our line somewhere here. Okay. And then reduce it so that it starts on the same line with the B. All right. Yeah. So this is what we have. So the next thing, we're going to duplicate this text. All right. So Control J to duplicate. All right. I'll move the text to start from the beginning. Here, double click to start. So I write ID. ID. I'll click enter. Enter again. D. Okay, let's just do it to 1 1. All right, so ID, we do Control J. All right, do Control J, and then we move this down. So double click. Okay, accept first. Okay, and double click. And then I will type DOB, that is date of birth. Accept. Control J. Okay, move it down. move it down. I want it to be the same. Yeah, double click, and then this time around is going to be our phone number. So phone. All right, we accept this. Then we do another Control J and move it down. Here, double click, and then we type email. All right. To make sure that all this started on the same line, I'm going to get a ruler. If your ruler is not showing, you can just do Control R. So with this, you can see that all these didn't start on the same line. All right, all these didn't start on the same line. So I'll just move this, move this also. Then I also move this backward. At least with this, all of them are now on the same line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this, okay, and then I will reduce the text. It's too big, okay. I'll move it somewhere here. It's okay. So now I'm going to duplicate this text again. I'm going to duplicate this particular text. Or let me do this one. This one is bigger. Control D. Sorry, Control J. Then yeah. Double click to enter editing mode. And then I'll do this. All right. So I'm going to remove this letter from the capital letter that I will put it before. So yeah, this is what I want. Control J again to duplicate and then bring it down. Double click to enter editing mode. So date of birth 01 1, then accept. Control J again. Bring this down. Double click and then write our phone number +1 2 3 4 4 5 6 7 8 9 1 2 3 4. Okay, we'll accept and then we'll do another Control J. Oh, sorry, Control J. So our email, lesson at gmail.com, and would accept. Okay, so I'll highlight all this. All right, and then put them in the center. It should be in the center. The space between them is too much, so I'm going to bring this ones closer. Yeah. So now highlight all of them and then highlight all. What is happening? Let me check them up a bit. And then bring this one up, down a little bit like this. Yeah, so the next thing that we're going to do now is that we're going to add a circle, all right, and add our picture. So we'll go back to the shape tool, get an ellipse, hold down our shift key, and then we draw a circle. The color of the circle doesn't really matter. Okay, so now I'm just going to get a picture. So we go to place embedded. So let's make sure the picture is on top of the circle that you created. So now we'll click on the layer of the picture and then right click, sorry, and create clipping mask. So just like that, now we have this. Okay, we have this. So I want to add like a glow effect to do. So I'll click on the layer of the circle, FX, drop shadow. I'll just leave the setting as it is. Okay. So now this is what I have. Okay. This is what I have. So now let's move on to the second part. So we are done with the first part. So we just move on to the second part. All right, this is the back. So for the back, I'm going to draw, I'm going to off this, all right, for now. So we'll just get our rectangle tool and then we'll add a rectangle all over like this. Okay, we are going to use the darker color, that is this color. So yeah, we'll use this. Then I'll remove the show color. All right. So I'm going to duplicate this shape right here. All right. So let me go down. So I'll unlock this and unlock this. So I'll just like duplicate this shape, this and this. So I'll press Ctrl J. All right, and then I'll move the both of them. So here, so you see it fits, right? So now I'll change the color for this footer here to white. Change the color to white. All right, then I'll do the same for this one and this. So hold my shift key, and then Control J. No, hold this, Control J, then move them here. All right, I want to make sure like they're on the same line. Yeah. So now change the color of this one here to white. Okay, white. All right. So now I'm going to on the logo that I imported them that I just off. So I need to on it. So I'll just on it here. But then it's at the back. So I'll just move my layer to the front here. Okay, I'll move it here. Well, if you notice the D here and then the ICT Academy here is no longer showing. Why? Because it's the same color. Okay, so we need to let's add a stroke line to it. So this now will come to blending options, stroke. Okay, so I'll move this here so that I'm seeing what I'm doing. I want to change this color to white. Okay, so yeah, this is better. So I press OK. So I'm going to reduce this a little bit. All right, and I'll duplicate the text here. This text, Control J. I'll move it here to write the name. So double click to start. So the name digital dreams limited. Okay, now I'm going to reduce the text just a little bit and then place it up here. I also change the text color to white. Okay, reduce the text again. Okay, so yeah, this is what we have down. So we need to write some notes here. But before that, I'll get my ellipse tool and just hold down my shift key and draw a circle like this. All right. Then I'll give it the fill color of the lighter yellow. Okay, and I'm going to give it a show color of white, and I'm going to take the pixel to 10. Okay, so this is what I have. All right, so I need to zoom this. I'll do Control J to duplicate, so I have two of this. All right, Control J again. There's a number that I want it to come out. At least once it comes out, then I know that okay, the space are equal. I don't know what is happening. For now, I think I'll just leave it here. So I'm going to duplicate one of those tests. So I'll do Control J, and then I'll move the text here, change the text color to white. All right, then double click to start typing. All right, so enter editing mode. So we'll type employee employees are required to use the card while on duty. Okay, so I'm going to reduce the text. All right, and then move it up a bit. Okay, I'll accept this. All right, Control J to duplicate it again, and then I'll bring it down here. All right, double click to enter editing mode. All right, and then we'll type if the card is lost or damaged, comma, and additional fee will enter be charged according to regulation. Okay, I will accept this. So I'll come to character. All right, make sure that this is in auto. Okay, so I'll duplicate this text again, Control J, and then I'm going to bring it down. here. So double click to start editing. If you find this card, comma, call the number at the front of this card. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, so we need to arrange this very well. Like the space is too much, so you need to like bring oh, I need to log this. So the space. Okay, let me leave this. First of all, highlight this ones. Move them. Then highlight this one. Move them. Okay. So yeah, this is what we have now. So just like need to add like a QR code here. So we go to file, place embedded to get our QR code. So this is it. I'm going to reduce it. Okay, and then I'll place it somewhere here. All right, so this is what we made, all right? So you see, like in this brand identity card, all right, we use the color of digital jeans to make this, all right? The font reflects the brand, all right? And then we added the logo and other things, okay? So yeah, this is what we made, okay? So for your mini project, I wanted to make any branding design that you want. It could be a product packaging, it could be a flyer, anything I just want to make, just make it. But make sure like it reflects the elements of branding. All right. So I'll see you guys in our next class. Bye, guys.